from PRX.
Friends beyond the binary, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's time to put, instead of the space being the final frontier, it's time to create a cozy space that if I had better vocabulary and rhyming, I'd rhyme something, make a cozy space with something that rhymes with frontier. Frontier? Oh dear, I don't have anything that rhymes with it. This is like, and this is what you could expect a lot more of. If you're like, what? Did he just lack the ability to say cozy space, trying to think of something yet, like rhymes with frontier, oh dear? Yes, I did, because it's time for Sleep With Me, the podcast that puts you to sleep. Hey, everybody, before we get started here, Sleep With Me exists from a place of empathy and compassion, of saying, I'm going to be here for you to keep you company so that you can fall asleep. And when I say that as a part of multiple communities, and there's a lot of communities and members of our communities that need support right now. And there's links to resources, whether you need extra support right now or you want to be a part of positive change and say Black Lives Matter with your actions, say stop AAPI hate with your actions, or just learn more. There's links to resources you could connect with in our show notes because you're a part of this community, okay? So make sure to check out the show notes in your podcast app of choice. And here's the sponsors who enable me to be here for you free twice a week. Hey, everybody, it's Scoots here, and you've heard me talk about the Patreon a lot. Sleepwithmepodcast.com/patron. $5 and up patrons get ad-free, full, brand-new episodes twice a week. They also get 2 story-only episodes every single week if you just like the stories. There's no commercials. There's no jingles. And $10 and up patrons get all that. They have access all the way back to episode 2. They get all intro episodes twice a month. They get a 4 to 6 hour supersize a compilation episode every single month, and then $20 patrons get a Ray episode every month. But I just wanted to check in if you're a patron and you don't have your patron feed set up, or if you're interested in checking it out. If you're a patron, you could go to sleepwithmepodcast.com/patron feed, PATRONFEED, sleepwithmepodcast.com/patron feed. When you get that patron feed set up in a quality podcast app, you could search the feed. You could say, oh, I just want to listen to TNG episodes. You just search right in the feed for TNG. Or if you want all intro episodes, or you could set a sleep timer, you could change the speed to listen a little bit faster or a little bit slower. You could make a playlist to all intro episodes. So please, if you're a patron or you're thinking about becoming a patron, you say, wow, that solves a ton of issues for me. I just want to listen to story-only episodes. Become a patron and set up that patron feed in your podcast app of choice, and then get listening. You'll be sleeping even sounder tomorrow night. Sleepwithmepodcast.com/patron. Or to set it up or check it out, sleepwithmepodcast.com/patron feed. And if you are a patron and you need any help, it's sleepwithmepodcast.com/patron help, PATRONHELP. Thanks, everybody. All right, everybody, it's time to talk about tonight's sponsor, Helix Sleep. I don't know if I can do this Helix ad in the form of an ode. Oh, Helix, thank you for having a quiz that takes just 2 minutes to complete. How I love how you match my body type and the listener's body types and sleep preferences to the perfect mattress for you, or ye, depending on if this ode was being said at a Renaissance fair. And why would ye buy a mattress for someone else, right? This isn't very good for an ode. Oh, Helix. With Helix, you're getting a mattress that you know will be the perfect way for how you sleep. Everybody's unique, and Helix knows that. So they have several different models to choose from. They have soft, medium, and firm mattresses that are great for cooling you down if you sleep hot, and even a Helix Plus mattress for plus size folks. And Helix, it was not that long ago I took your quiz, and you matched me with the Dusk Luxe, and never has there been a better dusk than when I'll return to your arms, my sweet, sweet Helix. For when I sleep hot, you keep me cool. When I toss and turn, I sleep on my side, I sleep on my stomach. You're there to adjust for me, to keep me comfortable. You're just the right firmness. I love seeing all the unboxing videos that listeners send out and what mattress they got matched with, because I love seeing people find that the Helix that becomes the mattress of their dreams. So if you're looking for a mattress, you take the quiz, you order the mattress you're matched with, and the mattress comes right to your door, shipped for free. You don't ever have to go to the mattress store again. Helix is awesome, but you don't have to take my word for it. Helix was awarded the #1 best overall mattress pick of 2020 by GQ and Wired Magazine. So just go to helixsleep.com/sleep. Take their 2-minute sleep quiz. They'll match you with a customized mattress that'll give you the best sleep of your life. They have a 10-year warranty, and you even get to try it out for 100 nights risk-free. They'll pick it up for you if you don't love it, but you will. Helix is offering up to $200 off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners at helixsleep.com/sleep. That's Helix, HELIX, sleep.com/sleep for up to $200 off and 2 free pillows. Thanks, everybody. Sleep With Me is brought to you by Progressive. Are you thinking more about how to tighten up your budget these days? Drivers who save by switching to Progressive save over $700 on average, and customers can qualify for an average of 6 discounts when they sign up. A little off your rate each month goes a long way. Get a quote today at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National annual average insurance savings by new customers surveyed in 2020. Potential savings will vary. Discounts vary and are not available in all states and situations. All right, everybody, it's time for the Sleep A Supporter Zone, the one part of the podcast I need you here. It's where I pop my peas, if you please. It's where I thank the listeners who not only supported the sponsors, but let the sponsors know about it, posted on social media, let me know about it, amplified their support of the sponsors. That's how we keep sponsors around, because of listeners like Jacqueline and Look Normal, that's their Twitter handle. Jacqueline supported Native, got some sweet Native deodorants, and Look Normal got an Apollo Neuro. They let the companies know about it. Let me know about it. It's a huge help for the show, because the sponsors say these are real people supporting the show because we support Sleep With Me. So I appreciate it so much. Thank you, Jacqueline and Look Normal. If you support a sponsor, let them know about it. Let me know about it. Tag me on social media. Give them a call. Send them an email. Send them a letter. And then let me know about it on social media or at sleepwithmepodcast.com/sponsors. Thank you so much. That's the first part of the Sleepy Supporter Zone. The second part of the Sleepy Supporter Zone is you getting the support you need. There's links to resources that you can connect with if you need extra help right now, and if you want to learn more to support the members of our community, to say Black Lives Matter, to say stop AAPI hate with your actions. And it's also about learning more in organizations we all might learn more about and then support. And I want to thank Madeline, who reached out to me and let me know about 1,000 Women Strong, and you can find them on social media at 1K Women Strong. That's on Twitter and Instagram. And Madeline let me know, and I checked it out too. It's an organization that puts Black women's voices first. It's run by Black women, and right now they're focusing on canceling student loan debt for Black women. And they have weekly webinars right now, so you could check them out. You could learn more, and you could support them. And that's 1,000 Women Strong, 1K Women Strong on social media. I'll have a link to their Linktree links in the show notes. And that's the end of the Sleepy Supporter Zone. Oh, Mystery Bard, a lot of people help out on the show. Who are they?
Posty poster son sounds like an earful. Wrote the theme song. Edits episodes. Carl W. the legend. Also edits episodes. Kenny, Scotty, and Jennifer. Runner. Eric and the team at us down or on the website. I am the Mystery Bard. I do the lullabies, yeah. I do commissions at JonathanMann.net. I'll write a song for you. Any reason at all. You can tell me the story and I'll make it personal. You see the kindness shine straight on through when the listeners form their own Facebook group. Keith, Stacy, Sarah, Julie, and Jennifer. These are your moderators. Get support dear Scooter on Patreon. Buy the merch and support the sponsors. You can find anything you want at sleepwithmepodcast.com. And we're so proud that we could dance. Rusty Biscuit, Lois, Anna like banana. Leah does the transcripts.
Thanks Thanks, Mystery Bard. I'm at Dear Scooter on Twitter and Instagram. That's where you can find me. What do you say we slow it down and get on with the show? Hey, are you up all night tossing, turning, mind racing, trouble getting to sleep, trouble staying asleep? Well, welcome. This is Sleep With Me, the podcast that puts you to sleep. We do with a bedtime story. All you need to do, or all you could do if you wish, is get in bed, turn out the lights and press play. You don't even have to get in bed. You could get comfortable and wherever you are, get comfortable. Or you know what? I've been, I know people listen to podcasts and they're in, smaller seats. They call them coach seats. But I've been in those ones. So you can say, okay, well, wherever you are. Now I forgot where I was. Get in bed, turn it. Even if you're not comfortable and the lights are turned. Last night I had somebody had a different situation going, so I had a light in the hall that was out of my control. So whatever it is, I'd like get in bed, turn the lights, press. I'm gonna do the rest. All you need to do. Oh no, then I said that. Get in bed, turn out the lights, and press play. Or none of those. What did I say after that? This is how this podcast is. It's not a finely oiled machine. It's like here's the thing with finely oiled machines. You stop oiling them. What do you got? You got a machine soon not to be finely oiled. And that's what just happened there. Get in bed, turn out the lights, press play. I'm going to do this. What I'm going to do is send, is that what I say next? No. I'm going to do is try to create a safe place. Well, I've never talked about finely oiled machines before or thought about the fact that it's a very tentative situation. Poor finely oiled machines. I mean, it's great that you're finely oiled. What about a finally oiled machine? How about some love for that? It's finally, I'm oiled. Like the tin person was a bit like that. I don't know if they were a machine or just a sentient collection of tin. But if they were a machine, some people say it was an autonomous, whatever the word is, automaton. I don't know. I can't say it. But you'd say, finally, I'm an oiled machine. But here's a tangent I'm still stuck in. If you stop oiling a finely oiled machine, don't do it, please. If your machines are finely oiled, keep up the good work. Or I'm sure engineers out there are saying, Scooter, don't you understand that's a grade of oil, finely. It's not like it's a machine oiled with a oil that's fine, like a fine oil. Oh boy, fine oil. Sign me up. Where do I overpay for that? This machine is oiled with the finest oils from around the world. It's a finely oiled machine. What does it do? Looks good. What is this, a Sharper Image catalog? Did I accidentally call into a catalog in the middle of an intro for a Star Trek TNG episode? Oh, I didn't even get the podcast started. What I'm going to try to do is create a safe place where you could set aside whatever is keeping you awake. Sorry, new listeners, old regular listeners, long-term listeners, that was a real treat. Went off topic twice. Well, first of all, if I got mixed up, I don't even remember what initially mixed me up. And then I got, trying to rhyme something, right? Was that what happened? Then that whole finely oiled machine came loose, came unglued. My finely oiled machine came unglued. It turned out whatever. So I'm going to try to create a safe place where you could set aside whatever's keeping away. It could be thoughts at this point. It could be feelings, anything emotionally coming up for you. Physical sensations, changes in time or temperature, routine, whatever's keeping you awake, I'd like to take your mind off of that. And what I propose to do is, or what I'm going to try to do is send my voice across the deep dark night. I'm going to use lulling, soothing, creaky, dulcet tones. Oh, so creaky are my dulcet tones. Pointless meanders, superfluous tangents. So I'm going to go, as you've already seen, I'm going to go off topic and get mixed up and, misuse words. Then say, wait a second. Then indulge things that pop in my brain. I mean, really, this is the first time I've ever had, I mean, at least that I can remember, which is usually the third or fourth time, that would I ever thought about the pressure of finely oiled machines under, or just the underlying feeling. You say, well, I mean, especially if I owned it, they'd say, well, what am I going to do when Scoots stops oiling me so finely? I mean, here's the flip side of it. It could be a really relaxing thing. You say, well, no, I'm not fully retired. I just finally oil machine. I got to drive around. My job's fine. I oil machines. Oh boy, do I finally oil them. And then when I get there, they say, finally, I'm finally oiled. Where do you get your oil? Filings, formerly known as Filings Basement. Now it's finally fine oils. Filings fine oil. Finally, you're a Filings fine oils. Oh, sorry, I was doing a sleep podcast. Oh boy. So, here's the thing. If you're new, I'll tell you all the information you need to know right now. So this podcast is very different. You've already gotten kind of a couple earfuls of that. Would you use a thimbleful? This would be a good situation to have thimbles, because you'd say, yeah, just a thimbleful of oil. It's so fine, It has, it's micro oil. What does that even mean? Well, it's in a thimble, so it's micro, we're microdosing these machines. Oh, wait, are you oiling micro machines? No. Well, I could, but, so if you're new, this podcast is very different. Obviously, you may be skeptical, you may be doubtful, you may be like, what is going on here? Even I am wondering that right now. At the same time, I'm one of the few podcasters that could talk about this stuff in a pointless way for hours on end. I mean, I could go back and redo the same, I still find it, I mean, I really think that's what the machine would say. Finally, where you been? I'm finally oiled. And they say, are you finally oiled or finally oiled? Finally, I'm finally oiled. At Filene's. That's where I see. You could get a shirt with the annual subscription to Finally Filene's. You get a shirt. It's a shirt for machines, which is really just like a kerchief that I wrote on. Okay, so this podcast is just not for everybody taste-wise, but a couple of things to know. I mean, this is a podcast you don't really listen to. I mean, clearly you could see my qualifications. So it's a podcast you just kind of humor me. You don't even need to humor me. You just go, oh boy, really, Scoots. You could even do it that way. You're kidding me. Like you just like a friend or a child, I guess, and this is what you'd say, okay, you're just kind of listening to me. You're barely paying attention. So it's a podcast you don't really pay attention to. It really doesn't put you to sleep either. I'm here to keep you company while you fall asleep. I'm here to be your bore bae, your bore bud, your bore sib, your bore bruh, your bore bestie, and keep you company while you fall asleep to take your mind off of stuff. And if you can't sleep at all, I'll be here. That's why the shows are about an hour, so you have plenty of time to drift off. You don't have to worry. But also, if you can't sleep, you say, well, Scoots is going to be here. Yeah. And you could queue up episode after episode after episode if you need it. If you need me during the day, I'm here. I'm here to keep you company while you fall asleep. The reason I make this show, well, one, I've been there, tossing, turning, mind racing, trouble getting. I mean, clearly you say, well, if this is what's going through your brain when you're working, you see, yeah, I dared to dream a little dream that I had a retirement where I finally oiled machines. I've been there. That's one of the reasons. I know how it feels in the deep, dark night. But the other reason is you're important and your sleep is important. And if I could distract you and keep you company while you drift off, it would really be my honor. Because it'll make your life, if I can make your life a tiny bit better, this really means a lot to me because I know how it feels on the other side. And if your life's better, our world is a better place. And not everybody believes that, but I do. So that's why I make the show. So that's that. Structure can also throw new listeners off or regular listeners. The structure's been the same for quite a few number of years. And more or less since episode maybe 150, generally we got the structure down. It starts with a greeting, so you feel welcome and seen. Then there's listener support. Then there's support for the show, so the show can be free. Then there's the intro. The intro is around 10 to 20 minutes long, where you just saw it. I go ahead, I try to talk about the podcast, and then I get distracted. It's a show within a show. Some people think it's the beginning of the show, but it's also, like, our show really is, I would hope in some sense it's beyond the time-space continuum, because even though it's the beginning of the show, it could be any part of the show, because it's really just here to keep you company while you get comfortable. But the reason there's a long intro is so that you can get eased into bedtime, or you could get ready for bed. So the intro kind of creates a nice bit of time that you could set aside to use however you wish. You could skip it. 2 to 3% of people do that. You could be zooming off or drifting off, right? There's a percentage of people that do that. But for most people, the intro eases you into bedtime, or is something you listen to while you're doing something else, relaxing or getting ready for bed or getting comfortable. So the new people kind of know, oh, this podcast is different, and you might not like it the first few times you listen to it. And the regular listeners go, oh, there goes Scoots, went off topic again, tried to start its podcast for the 1000th time, got distracted. So that's the intro. Then there's business. Again, that's how we keep the podcast going and free. And then there's our bedtime story. Tonight will be a discussion of an episode of Star Trek The Next Generation. Don't worry if you've never seen it, or you say it'll be very chill and indirect and relaxing. So we'll discuss that, and then there's thank yous. So that's the structure of the show. That's why I make the show. The only other piece of advice that comes up a lot is give the show a few tries, because it just takes a couple of tries to realize, oh, wait a second, it is just like you said. You don't really listen to it, and you don't really fall asleep. You just wake up the next day. So give it a few tries. Now, if you already know, you say, I just don't, if this podcast just isn't for you, you already know, you have a taste in your mouth, like, this isn't for me. sleepwithmepodcast.com/no thank you has a list of other sleep podcasts, because whether it works for you or not, or whether you like me or the style of the show or not, your sleep is still important. So there's other sleep podcasts out there for you. But for now, give it a few tries and see how it goes. I mean, if you're like me and you tried, you've had trouble your whole life, hopefully it can help you out. I'm really glad you're here. I really hope and strive, and I really want to help you fall asleep. And here's a couple ways I'm able to do it for you twice a week for free. All right, everybody, it's Scoots here, and it's time to talk about Feather. Feather is changing the furniture industry, and I'm getting ready to move, and I've been looking at furniture. And I don't know if you've looked at furniture lately, but you're talking about wait times to get stuff delivered, 4 months, 6 months. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Now, with Feather, the furniture comes in as little as 7 days. Moving and buying furniture, getting it delivered, setting it up, it's a huge pain. It's expensive. These are all the reasons I love Feather, and this is why you have to check out Feather too. People who live in cities move 6 to 8 times before they hit their early 30s, and Feather has it all figured out. They're a furniture rental company designed for people who want to feel at home no matter how often they move. Furnishing a one-bedroom can cost upwards of $6,000. With Feather, you can furnish a bedroom with high-quality, beautifully designed furniture for the cost of your monthly utility bill. Their delivery team brings the furniture directly to your home in as little as 7 days. They handle all the heavy lifting, so you can go from an empty apartment to a fully furnished home without lifting a finger or assembling anything. And you got to check out their website. They don't just have furniture. They have these amazing rugs, lamps, wall arts. Now they even have outdoor furniture. And they might say, yeah, well, but what if I move to a place with a different layout? That's no problem with Feather. You can easily swap out furniture that works with any space, and it's more sustainable. By renting with Feather, you're not buying fast, cheap cheap furniture that's going to end up in a landfill. So you've heard me talking about it. Feather is going to be a part of my next move because they make it so easy. It makes so much sense. So try a new way to furnish your home. Right now, Feather has an exclusive offer just for Sleep With Me listeners. If you go to livefeather.com and use the promo code SLEEP300, you'll receive $300 off your first month of their annual plan. That's livefeather.com and use our promo code SLEEP300 for $300 off. That's livefeather.com and use that promo code SLEEP300. Thanks, everybody. Sleep With Me is brought to you by Progressive. Have you tried the Name Your Price tool yet? It works just the way it sounds. You tell Progressive how much you want to pay for car insurance, and they'll show you coverage options that fit your budget. It's easy to start a quote, and you'll be able to find a rate that works for you. It's just one of the many ways you could save with Progressive. Get your quote today at Progressive.com and see why 4 out of 5 new auto customers recommend Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. All right, everybody, Scoots here, and we're talking about Season 6, Episode 26, the season finale, Descent, or Descent, Part 1. And we'll run through a little bit of my notes, and we'll run through the episode. It starts off with a poker game on the... It looks like it's in Data's room, actually, or Riker's room. I don't know whose room it is, but I just noticed that. I didn't write that down. But it's Newton, Data. So if you were Data, Newton would be on your right, Einstein would be on your left, and Stephen Hawking would be across the table from you playing poker. Stephen Hawking is owning the room. He's the funny one. Data does droid-splain Newton, apocryphal. They said, are they playing 5-card draw? It looks like it. Simple arithmetic, Newton, so irascible or something, irritable maybe. Illuminating. How's Data, I also had a question. How's Data's visor stay on his head? 4 of a kind for Hawking. He's very happy. Great smile. Then there's an alert comes in, end program. The Enterprise crosses our screen from left to right. We're on the bridge with Picard and Riker. There's a ship double question mark. Worf, Data, you're with me. We get great sound effects in Sky. In Sky? Will out past. I don't know what that is. Into outpost. Oh, outpost. Okay, yeah, they're going to, I thought the ship, but they're going to an outpost. So yeah, we do get great special effects and sound effects. Because we get this shot of the outpost, and the clouds are moving. And it's, like a painted scene with motion. Really good job. Then we're in the outpost. We're Ferengi here. 274 assigned to outpost. It's a, what is that, Starfleet outpost, I think. Relay message from door opens, or replay message, Borg, open. Then there's a little Nerf battle. And a big ship versus the Enterprise, green versus orange. Those are the different, so they have like Nerf teams, green Nerfs versus orange Nerfs. And no one said, who you calling a Nerf herder? Because they said, Scoots, I don't think it's a Nerf herder. I think you misheard it. And I say, are you sure? Because that would make sense. You say, where are you getting Nerf? Nerf is made from foam. No, it's made from Nerf fur. I was a Nerf herder. Nerf. That could be like, what do you call a fluffernutter on Tatooine? Nerf herder. And you say that doesn't make any sense at all, other than they sound. And I say, oh yeah, give me a Nerf herder. What are you making for lunch? Ray, my dear, what would you like for dinner? A Nerf herder or something else? Okay, anyway, sneak up, takeouts with Nerf. Data does some ninja moves, super powers. Riker watches under table. Then they all take off. They go to intercept. They vanish. Geordi has to study some stuff. Data's fists clenched. He's spaced out, or they're spaced out. Data, you all right? I got angry. Like the something. Like the something. Okay, let's run it from there, and we'll see what else we see here. Okay, we got poker going. Hawking's like cracking jokes so that I don't well beyond my understanding, and Newton's, or a funny story, I guess. Isaac Newton's only got one. Isaac Newton's kind of like me, but smarter. He's like, Data's droid explaining to him the joke, don't patronize me. I invented physics when the apple fell on my head. Maybe I don't know if his programming's too accurate or not accurate enough. Apocryphal story it is. How dare you? Okay, let's get back to the game. Einstein says Data gives Einstein the side eyes. Hawking had raised, it's 10 to Einstein. He can't add 3 and 7, I guess. So does he call? Let's see. I don't know. He says, what's the point of this ridiculous game? That's Newton. Oh, and Data says, it gives me insight into people's humanity playing games. Curious to see how we play. History's great minds would interact in this setting. Most illuminating and profitable for Einstein, he says. I say, okay, let's get it going. So I guess he called, Hawking raises 50, Newton folds, Data folds, and Einstein has to call. He thought it was an uncertainty principle, but, and he calls. But I mean, he's right to call because, like, I don't know what Einstein even has, but the odds of a 4 of a kind and 5-card draw are really low. So he says, oh, bummer. Oh, wait, I can kind of see. Let me just go back there. If I can kind of see Einstein's cards. Then they call him in. Okay, it looks like he has 3 of a kind or maybe even a full house. Like maybe he has, what are those? 3, 6, 9, 2 9s, and then maybe not. I don't know. Impossible for me to tell. Data's got to go to work. He ends the program. His visor's still on. His visor is not an illusion. It's real. It's on his head, but not on his ears. And then we see the Enterprise. It actually went from back left to front right. And they got some outposts. Oniaka. And let's call everybody. Well, we're in the system. Bring us out of Wharf. Here's another ship orbiting the planet. Configuration doesn't match our records. Okay, stand by. Hail them. No response. Put it on screen. Does not appear. I don't know what they're doing. Maybe they got here before us. Maybe the ship's been... there's like electromagnetic interference. Data's typing away. Riker heads off. He does he moves his body when he makes turns. I don't know if that's because of his back aches or just like a character thing. Then we get the nice shot of the outpost from outside. Then we're inside. We see a lot of snoozing. Forced plasma nerfing. Could have been like Ferengi were here before. Doesn't look like they were following nerf protocols for nerfing. And, yeah. I say, okay, well, let's start looking around, Riker says. And they start patrolling. People are snoozing. And then Data goes to open a door. It's jammed. The mechanism's jammed. And, okay. And then, eventually he does some, like, hacking. He gets it open. Bypass the primary system. And then there's a Borg there. The Borg is static. So first you say, bum, bum, bum. Oh, whoops, I pressed the wrong button. So I just went to the next episode. Don't worry, though. Get it back here. So door opens. Let's try to skip the intro. That'll teach me. But then the whole nerfing erupts. Green nerf, Data, orange nerf scores a point. Then 3 more Borg come. Riker's under a table. Worf is running like things with another Starfleet officer. Geordi and Picard are dealing with stuff. Evasive maneuvers and shields at 80. Auxiliary power. Riker's pinned down. Data goes to, like, they do a little nerf sorting as with nerf sabers. Riker scores a point. They say, that was Torsus, man. My bestie. Runs off. Then someone's scanning. They say Klingon, human, biological. Then the Borg score a point. Worf scores one right back. Then Data does more nerf lightsabering, but he starts grabbing, uses his super strength and speed to tie all their nerf sabers into knots. And he says, stop nerfing, stop. He's irritated. He even has a look on his face. And this is kind of the underpinnings of these episodes. He's glaring. Then he gets scanned. Artificial life form, Lieutenant Commander, name Data. But that must have been and Riker sees all this. He says, well, that's interesting. And then they transport away. And then the ship takes off. The Enterprise tries to go after it, but after subspace analysis, it disappears. And that's when Geordi's like, all right, I'm going to have to go back and do some studying of this. Something strange happened. And you see, Geordi, you're always the best Geordi you could be. And I'll have to do something. Picard says, well, let's go back to Oniak. We go back there. We see the sky again. Then we see Data clenching his fist as Riker climbs out. Goes, Data, you okay? Data's like, I don't know. You think I got angry? And that's where my note said, like the Hulk. Then let's see. I'll stay with the screen for now. Captain's log 46982.1. Because of his unusual behavior, Data's been temporarily relieved of duty by his request. This means he can't help us investigate this change in Borg behavior. So we have a meeting. They're fast, almost like Klingons. They're nerfing like Klingons. No offense, none taken to Worf. I don't think they were part of the collective, Riker says. They were acting as individuals. They had names, used I. They showed concern. Taurusis, and Troy says, I thought Hugh was the only named Borg, and we gave it the name. Dr. Crusher says, maybe this is us. They say, any interest in assimilation? No, not interested in assimilation. Not even interested. It was strange. No, they didn't seem like they wanted to assimilate anybody or anything. And then they say, well, if they're not interested in assimilation, what in the... We're making an assimilate out of you and me. And they said, what are you talking about, Scoots? They say, Picard says, okay, well, get ready in case something strange happens. Let's analyze some of our readings and see, did they construct this ship or was it an alien ship? How did they do this subspace stuff? I got to get a hold of Starfleet Command. Then Geordi's running Data's brain, positronic net, check it. Looks good. Everything looks fine. Data says, yeah, everything on my end's fine too. Nothing to indicate anything strange. Behavioral anomalies. I agree. This is a great interchange if you want to ever watch it. It's at like around 11 minutes. Data says, I think I had my first emotion. And Geordi says, well, how would you know? Like a power surge versus anger. And Data says, yeah, I have no frame of reference to confirm my hypothesis. I can't even describe it. Can you describe what it feels like? And then I could use that as a frame of reference. And Geordi goes, okay, well, kind of feels like, first I feel, this is like sleep with me. First I feel like hostile and belligerent. I think he says, can you describe feeling hostile? Yeah, like feeling belligerent. And Data says, can you describe feelings without referring to other feelings? And Geordi says, oh boy, he even smiles. He says, that's deep, man. Nope, I can't do it. I just feel it. And he uses his hands in a way, and Data replicates how he uses his hands and says, yeah, I simply 3-hand motion felt it. And then Geordi says, well, if it was a real emotion, how's that possible? Data goes, I don't know. Maybe evolution? And it's in my grasp. Maybe I'll get some more emotions. And Geordi goes, I hope you're right, because I don't want you to have like one emotion or feeling. And that gets Data's attention. Then we got Captain's Log, 46.984.6 or something. Nothing happened. We got Admiral here to take command in the sector, just to be ready. And then the Admiral, she's like, we got 15 starships on the way here. The Gorkin's mine. You'll be in Task Force 3. And she says, by the way, I know what happened with this Hugh. The report you submitted, she says, WTF, man. Like you had a Borg, you could have, programmed it with sleep mode for all Borg and put all Borg to sleep. And you brought it on board, analyzed it, you had a solution, and you sent it back and you didn't do it. And she says, you nursed it back to health. What do you, she says this like a radio host. Oh, you're so kind. And, Picard says, listen, Hugh became sentient, was not an automaton. It was a person. And I felt I had no choice. Those are the rules. Respect his rights as an individual. She goes, you had a choice. This was an opportunity. And she goes, a Borg, they're just trying to paint in broad strokes. And Picard says, yeah, I'm aware of it. But I have an oath and a conscience. I'm bound by those to uphold certain principles. And he goes, well, I'm not going to. And she goes, your priority is the Federation's citizens, not your own conscience. Now, I want to make it clear. You got an order. Borg are not our friends. You understand? Picard goes, understood. He definitely glares. He even stands up to say it. She goes, chain of command. He goes, okay, chain of command taken. But they hold on him. Then we have Troy and Data meeting, talking about trying to, this is a really good scene too. Said I tried to listen to operas to be uplifting. I tried to watch some humor, tried to get my back sweating 4 times. Did that work? Nope, back did not sweat. Troy's laughing. I'm curious, why are you not leaning into the emotion you already experienced? Also, if this is her office, it's really nice. It has some nice, like, pink windows. And then they go into this thing that all humans deal with. Oh, is this getting your, getting your temperature rising? Is that a good thing or a bad thing or a gray thing? She's trying to be like every therapist and say, hey, let's get away from all or nothing thinking. And Data goes, well, isn't it not good? And she goes, well, is it what you do with the feelings or strong emotions or the actions related to them? And she goes, you got to explore your feelings. You don't have to lead to action based on the feelings. And he goes, but what if it does? What if those are the only emotions I'm capable of experiencing? Does that mean I'm a bad person? And she goes, oh boy. She gets up, sits down next to Data. And she goes, we've worked together a long time. You're not a bad person, so I know you pretty well. She goes, that's a trope, to control behavior. She doesn't say that, but he goes, okay, well, I wish I was as confident as you, counselor. And he goes, yeah, when I was getting that bored, I got really irritable. When I think back on it, because there was another sensation there, like a cathartic pleasure. He goes, is that an emotion? I mean, I'm paraphrasing, but she goes, wait a second, cathartic pleasure. And he goes, yeah, something like that. But the whole scene is very well acted and performed. She goes, if you had to give it a name, what would you call it? And he says, pleasure. I believe it was. And it's a real slow delivery. Then there's a long on Troy's reaction, and that goes to a commercial. Let me run through my notes here. Oh, unusual. Oh, Captain's log, unusual. New change in Borg. Meeting Klingon not Borg. The only Borg with a name was Hugh, not interested in assimilation, ! Contact Starfleet Command. Geordi checks out that positronic net. My first emotion. You are confident or conflicted. Geordi feels hostile, like belligerent, without referring to other feelings. I just feel... both use hands, ! 1240. I do not know. He's got datas to give a look on. I don't want you to think that all your feelings. Oh, other stiffened up, Starfleet, Task Force 3. Very dramatic. Admiral. Bored, bound by my oath and conscience. You're under orders. Proud to stand, yes. Doubt on face. Data and Troy. Pink windows or shades? Yeah, shades. 4 attempts. ! Troy amused. Anger. Negative. Malice. Data has Data has anxiety about it. He's experiencing another feeling. Yeah, like anxiety and rumination. She sits next to him. Deeper look. Other emotion. I felt something. Pleasure. Troy look. Then there's an ad break. Riker action. New believe 13 minutes canceled third time today. Tell them to read the manual. 16 hours of patrol. Riker studies Hugh. Riker has anything, it could be anything. Picard is hot. I want answers, ! I let him go. Risky, dragnet, but moral, but not right. Riker look, Hugh screen. Geordi code snoop. Oh, Geordi code, snoop on Data and Borg, or I interrupting, huh? Can I call you first? Too strong on Borg. Will you help me duplicate the conditions? Oh, Geordi's so concerned he uses like his high voice, like when I answer the phone or I call someone, like, can I make a dentist appointment? That's my high voice. Hi, could I speak to the manager? My life, I'm your friend. Another alert, M51 located the ship, subspace distortion, not going to get away. Vanish every matrix, pulled in wall, wormhole purple, normal space, celestial fixed. Bring ship ahead, shields at 16%, Borg on board, wharf effect, Foundling Big Farm, Franklin Big Farm, ship is gone, left them, this one is here. Dr. Crusher, full recovery, wake him, do it all right. Picard talks to Croesus, Crowsus, not how you spell it. Not how you spell it. By the one, touches the energy wall. Does he have a name? Hugh. Close out the other one. Check out this one, Data. All alone. I do not wish to be. He uses some kind of arm button to do something to Data. Total hypnotization and weird voice. Data, do you have a friend? Geordi. Yes, I would. Geordi, Picard, Riker, and Picard, a fast-moving river. Told about Grapplies. Shuttle out, WTF. Great look at Worf's hair. Grant Picard to Riker look and Commander Data, zoinks. They lean in, WTF, whoosh, ad. So yeah, let's go through some of that coverage there. Let's see, so we're ending on Troy's face, and Riker, he goes there, he says, hey, everybody comes to the thing, do the colony, these are like these false alarms, ETA, 15 minutes, get ready, New Berlin canceled the call, and that's when they said, it was a trading ship, everybody's worried, third time today, tell him to read the manual, Picard's already irritable, but he gets hotter. You know, he got really criticized by the admiral falsely, but no reports of Borg, tensions high, exterior shot of, and I said, do I have a name? Watching the Hugh video, Picard's watching it. I'm Beverly, he's Geordi, you're Hugh. It says 7 hours, 19 minutes, and 1 second, start at 4855.4. Riker comes in, check out this report on this Game Boy, artificially created energy conduit. Could be anything. That doesn't even mean anything. That's when Picard says, I want answers. And Riker says, oh boy, he lifts his chin. Sorry about that. I just, he was here. What did I do? His, Picard's fish goes swimming by in the background too. And Riker says it was risky, but it was, there was a choice you made, the right choice, a moral choice. And Picard says, yeah, well, the moral choice might not be the right choice, so it will. And they both get good looks. They look at Hugh, paused. Then Geordi's going, I don't know what he's doing, going to spy on Data. He lets himself right into a private holodeck moment. See, that's a terrible, I would say it's a terrible idea. And that's when we see Data tying up a Nerf lightsabers or whatever. But he can't get the right mix of a Nerf. without a passcode. But Geordi's like, dude, what are you doing? And Data goes, tying up Nerf things. He goes, well, why would you do that? We gotta get to work. And Data goes, okay, I can get back to work. But he goes, what is going on in here? Because there's millions and millions of knotted Nerf, like kind of like pool noodles. And he's like, this is like strange behavior even for you, Data. And Data goes, well, can we finish this up? And he goes, okay, I need a stronger pool noodle. Index 2.1, 20% stronger. And Geordi goes to sit down. Still not strong enough. So he goes, even stronger. And the computer goes, can't do it without an override code. And Data goes, there's something about those Borg pool noodles. They had a tensile strength we can't simulate here without using two codes. And Geordi goes, well, the computer won't let you because you could strain your fingers, and we need your fingers on board, Data. Plus, I'm your friend. You might want to use them for other things, like writing, playing the piano, petting your cat. So, yeah, can't approve that, no. Yeah, I don't know. Let's duplicate the conditions, though, of the original incident as closely as possible. Geordi goes, Data, we're talking about an experiment here. And Data goes, I've been waiting my whole life to feel emotion. If I get knot up pool noodles to feel emotion, I'm going to do it. Geordi goes, this doesn't make any sense. You're quantifying pool noodles and feelings. And he goes, this is almost like Data goes, this is the only stimuli I found that make me feel the way I feel. And Geordi goes, well, I'm your friend. I can't just let you sit around here knotting pool noodles. Then they get called in. They say, something's going on. Get back to base. We see the Enterprise go from left to right. MS Colony, we got to go help it. Isn't it strange, though? There's been a bunch of these when we're close, and then they disappear. They said Borg ship's heading away. Let's follow that ship, lock on it. Let's all sit down, or at least Riker and I. And we see the Borg ship. They try to follow it. Full impulse, lock on that thing. We're closing. 30 seconds. Then there's a subspace distortion. And let's not let him get away. Picard to engineering. Get all the power. Impulse. Acknowledge. 125%. All right, 10 seconds Worf needs, but then it vanishes. And there's some sort of energy matrix. Engines back. They get pulled in. So they go through this energy matrix, and it's digitized, and I guess they go to a commercial. Then we see them going through a purple cloud. And there's a bit more stuff, vibration and stuff. It slows down, and then they come out of it in normal space and have a celestial fixed data tries with secondary systems. Borg ships and turn around, put it on screen. Their shields are only at 16%. It's coming straight at them. And they send this green thing there, and then the Borg are on board. And the do a nerf out. Each Borg scores once, Worf scores twice. And everybody's like, holy cow, Data's doing some acting. Franklin's been nerfed. Aye, sir. No one else on board. Borg ship is gone. Maybe that was a distraction and diversion to give him a chance to get away. Another change in Borg behavior. They left everybody behind. And they say this one is, these Borg are just resting, or this one Borg is. That's when Dr. Crusher is looking it over. Picard says, wake it up. I want to talk to it. And she says, well, I don't know. And he goes, wake it up, or do it. He actually says, holy Nike swoosh, do it. And Picard and Data are standing behind him. Looks like he has 2 transistors on the side of his head. Lower the force field. They go out. Worf and Dr. Crusher go out. And then they put the field back up. And Picard goes, what's your designation? I don't got a designation. I'm Croesus. Picard looks behind him. Croesus? What kind of name's that? My name. Where'd you get it from? The One gave it to me. Who's the One? You're the one that's going to deal with everything. But you're Borg. Don't you assimilate? What happened to your assimilation joys? And then it says biological organisms, human, Klingon. And then Picard goes, does the One have a name? Is it Hugh? Is Hugh doing all this? And he goes, what's up with this One? Picard wants to know. Also good effects. He goes, by the way, I'm Locutus of Borg. Answer my questions. And Crotus or whatever just stares at him. Picard's exasperated. This is going nowhere. He goes, let's see what we can learn from the other. He goes, let's see if there's any modifications on these Borg that are causing behavioral differences. Data, do a biospectral analysis, check for subspace signals, and get on it. And Data rolls up on Crotus or whatever, or Low Crotus or whatever. He goes, hey, you're not like the others. He goes, we could assimilate you. Data goes, no thanks. And that's when he does this thing on his wrist, which clearly is messing with Data. Goes, what about all those feelings you've always wanted, Data? And it starts to do the hypnotic voice. The one who helped me can help you too. Help you find emotion. Like real emotions. And I can second that emotion if you want to. Have you felt anything? And Data goes, yeah, I feel a pleasure when I tie up knots, when I knot up pool noodles. He goes, how does it feel to feel pleasure when you knot pool noodles? And Data goes, well, pleasurable, I guess. And he goes, well, wouldn't you want to do that all the time? Data goes, it wouldn't be ethical. He goes, if it feels good, who cares about duty and ethics? He goes, if it's unethical to get pleasure from pool noodles, then he goes, you're unethical, doesn't, and he's like, Data goes, no, you're messing with me. That's not correct. Meanwhile, there's somebody like checking their email and the computer in the background. Data goes, I have a program of right and wrong, and wasting pool noodles is part of my conscience. I got to do more than just sit around tying up pool noodles. And Croesus says, well, I guess it wasn't working when you were on Oniaka 1 or whatever. And Data goes, quit messing with me. Your proximity is interfering with my scan. And he goes, well, sorry, I was just thinking about pool noodles. You notice my eye? It has a cool effect on it. Goes, wow, just thinking about those knotting of pool noodles. Data goes, yeah, it was a very potent experience for me. Goes, you'd like to feel that way again? Data says, yes. He goes, you'd do anything, huh? Even give up your best friendship with Geordi. Data goes, no, Geordi's my best friend. He goes, oh, because I thought he was Hugh's best friend too. He goes, you don't sound very sure of yourself. Are you sure your ethical thing is functioning? And he goes, Data, do you have a friend named Geordi? Would you give up your friend to not pool noodles? And Data goes, yes, I would. And that means if you could feel a pool noodle between your hands again, like Oniaka 3. And we're through the looking glass because Data says, oh, I'd like to touch a pool noodle again and feel it not, beneath my hands. I would. Then we see Parked Enterprise. Riker, Geordi, and Picard are working on this transwarp conduits through subspace, exprolated and delta quadrants, warp velocity, like a fast-moving river swept away by the currents. How fast? Geordi goes, I have no idea. He goes, there's beyond normal subspace. He goes, you could go 20 times faster, maybe. Maximum warp. How does it work? Some sort of tachyon pulse, maybe. I don't know. I mean, this could change everything, just this knowledge. I'm surprised there. I'm like, holy cow, could you duplicate that? Then they say, hey, shuttlecraft took off. What the heck? Nobody gave it permission. Picard goes, yo, what are you doing, shuttlecraft? Get back here. No answer. Lock on a tractor beam. Tractor beam's broken. Or something. Yeah. Disabled. Somebody unplugged it. Oh, boy. And they go, there's a tachyon surge in the shuttle. It's going to trigger their conduit. And they go, wait a second. Who's on there? Riker goes, or they go, the Borg and Commander Data. And it swooshes off. And then Riker, Picard, and Worf watch. And what do we say? Can we follow? We might. Data override. Flash of emotion. More profoundly. Geordi, can we simulate it? Last known. Action. Energizing the matrix. Lower bandwidth. Secondary bandwidth. Alternating frequencies. This is one thing I learned from watching this season that I'm doing. If you need to change something up, alternate your frequencies. That works a lot of cases. It works fluctuation, 1/2 impulse, something 67%, repeat 65 light years. Oh dear. Big sigh. No shuttle. Riker and Geordi, 2 advanced civilizations, no signs, plasma. Wait, Riker found it, 247 Mark 059, full impulse. Tannish planet with clouds that are jamming the sensors. Is it somebody? No, it's natural. Trans something, more size, take a right. That doesn't make sense. Just take the something. Permanent lock. Two something. Oh, 2 moons on the planet, but no sign of Borg or Data. It's like a sepia version of the California coastal hills. There's brush and nice trees, sepia tones. How for 3 hours? How far in 3 hours? Borg are not very fast, so 15 to 20 kilometers. Geordi asks, who's going to be in command? Dr. Crusher. And now it's Captain Crusher, and there's a little bit of stress on her face, then a smile, then a deep breath. Then we have Riker setting out the plan, searching the hills. It's kind of like they're going hiking. And then they're about to crest a hill. They lie down in the grass before they get to the top to scan and talk about stuff. But Troy's at the top of the hill. She sees a strange building. Come on. Thick grass, gnarled trees, and it was very Getty. And I think this is probably pre-Getty. I don't know, maybe season 6 was the same time as the Getty, but I'm not sure. Trying to think if the Getty opened in the 90s, like 97, or if it was just getting built in 97. I think I went there in 97, but maybe not till like 99. Yeah, maybe it was just getting built in 96, 97. But anyway, there's a door or hatch around the corner. There's good wind sounds. They go in like a lobby, like kind of like more of like a hall, marble hall, banners, flags, a podium. It's a meeting place, Troy says. But there's some sort of star cases or dampening fields or something. Let's go. And all of a sudden, a ton of Borg show up and they're cheering like a bit like Klingons. And they say, stop. They do a quick nerf off with one of the nameless Starfleet officers, and then Data appears, and then Troy says, that's not Data, it's Velvet Lore. And he goes, right, but I'm not alone. And then Data appears, and they go, the Sons of Soong and their Borg crew. Kind of like, like Pirate's Life for me. I said I could write some fan fiction, The Sons of Soong. So that's how it ends in my notes. So, but let's run through it. Picard, can we follow? Geordi says, I got a pretty good reading. Might be able to duplicate it. Then they see his Data going on purpose, or, was he overridden? And they say it could be either one. But Picard says, well, his recent emotion may have something to do with this. Could have affected him more profoundly than we realize. So we got to find him. And Geordi goes, I got a matrix set up. I think I can copy it. They go, okay, Worf, everybody get ready. We're going to do something unproven and, before. So let's do it. Energize the matrix, Geordi. Okay, first he tries lower bandwidth. It doesn't work. Nothing unusual. Okay, let me do secondary bandwidth. Nothing. Well, let me alternate the frequencies. Next time, try that first. It'll work. Or says, okay, there's some sort of fluctuation here. You're right. Directly in front of us, a subspace distortion. Okay, take us in. They go in, power's down 67%. They put up some auxiliary power, and then they're out of it almost instantaneously. And traveled 65 light years from previous position. Holy mackerel. Picard's like, that's not good. They're going to wonder where we went. Well, let's find the shuttle at least. No, we can't find it. Riker says, I can figure this out. Do an energy signature. Okay, Geordi's working on scans. He goes, they're all, like, he says, there's two civilizations here. No population, though. And then plasma used, traces and nerf. Riker goes, Borg have been busy. Riker finds the shuttle energy signature. And Worf says, this is where it's at. Lay the course, full impulse. And we get the Enterprise goes over our left shoulder, orbiting counterclockwise, I guess. Tracing it. They're still doing some analysis at the computers. Intentionally jamming. Nah, natural jamming, man. Magnetosphere. Okay, can we transport through it? Yeah, but it'll be a surprise when we get down there. Guard breathes, looks at Will. We got to do it, boss. Okay, yeah, I think so too. Send out a bunch of tough away team and permanent lock on your signal so you can get out of there with trouble. Worf, you're with me. They go down. We see two moons. Grass, the shuttle, they're looking around. No sign of any Borg or Data. Shuttle's been abandoned. EM interference is limiting our tricorder range, so useless beyond 100 meters. Can't find any structures. They could be anywhere. This is where you say, okay, wow, they're smart. Well, how fast can they walk? The shuttle was the Elbaz. Engine's been off for 3 hours. Okay. Geordi, well, okay, 15 to 20 kilometers. I mean, isn't that like, I guess that makes sense. 3 hours. No, the furthest you could go would be about 10 kilometers, I think. But anyway, not important. All right, Riker. I'm going to send down other away teams, set up a command post, map a search plan. I'll be in touch. Geordi, use the shuttlecraft for low-level reconnaissance, send some pilots. Everybody, even you and me, are going down there, buddy. We're going to put together four people away teams and leave a few people on board. Who's going to be in charge? And then Dr. Rush said, any last orders? Well, if anybody comes, don't wait around. Get out of here. Go back to Federation space. Okay, got it. Good luck, Jean-Luc. Good luck, Captain. And they kind of smile. I'm like, what did I miss the past couple seasons? And then the Riker's going over his map. 12 teams are out looking. You're going to be, we're going to be in Theta 1-6. Wallace and Towles are on command post. So it's Geordi, Troy, Picard, and some, rando. They're out in the Sepia Hills. Kind of looks, it could be LA or Berkeley or, San Diego area. And they're going up a hill. Looks nice. I mean, I said I've hiked in these hills before or something similar. Probably wouldn't hike up where they're hiking just because it's unnecessarily steep. They lie down. Okay, how are we going to find them? We need a Renaissance fluctuation in Data's power cells or something, and then hone in on it. Maybe talk to Data's positronic and that. I don't know. Then Troy's like, I see something. And then Troy's like, I see something. It looks like the Getty, but more modern. It's got a couple flying buttresses even. And they say, really? Flying buttress? She goes, yeah, no, it does. So they say, let's get I love flying buttresses. Picard says, I'm French, so let's go look at it. And they get too close to be able to see the flying buttresses. But they say, who built this? Rock and roll? No, not Borg either. No energy signatures from the Borg. But there is a door hatch 20 meters this way, so let's check that out. Check it 1-2. So they go around the side, they go into the hall. There's a couple ATMs or something. Like they're a little bit smaller, but they look like a modern, or maybe water machines. There's some like balconies, marble, black marble, kind of like a silver marble, some sort of what do they call those? Borg symbol. But then they say, okay, we can't get any signatures in here. The light sources don't have any power. And Picard goes, dude, it's a dampening field. Come on, Geordi. The lights are on. We better get moving. And that's when the Borg are much more boisterous Borg. A bevy of boisterous Borg appear. And they nerf the one person that's with them that's not famous. And then Lore says, stop. He's cloaked in velvet, or what looks like velvet to me. It could be just yeah, it does look like velvet, though. Not crushed velvet. More of a, like, he'd be great. He would really absorb sound in his outfit. It'd be great for, like, lining a room in Lore's outfits. Be perfect for broadcasting a podcast. And he says, here's Data. Sons of Soong have joined together. And together we're going to rule. With our crew of Borg. And all the Borg, yeah. They start chanting along. Oh, yo ho, Borg type life for me. Season's cliffhangers life for thee who was watching. Not for you, though. I'll be back in just a short episode from now to talk about this second half of this. I mean, in an episode cycle. So there'll be a Tuesday style episode, then a written episode, and then another TNG episode. So I'll be back soon. Good night. All right, I want to thank everybody who reviewed the show recently on Apple Podcasts. Al said ADHD guided zone out to sleep solution. So listen to podcasts. The first time it didn't hit me, but then I came back to it the next week. Been listening ever since. ADHD in my brain, it gets busy, and he literally takes the time to get half your attention and meanders and changes subject before your brain starts jumping around. And I normally fall asleep in 20 to 30 minutes. Thanks. Best for a racing brain at bedtime. This is from Bell's Beth. Don't listen. If I don't listen to podcasts every time because my mind starts to think about everything going on right now. The podcast, I just listen to Scooter ramble until I fall asleep or pass out. If you get sleepy in college lectures, this podcast will put you right to sleep. I had the flu and I listened to the podcast. I've been a big time sleep with me convert ever since. Fun fact, I listened to this podcast during 2 different sleep studies, and the only reason I was allowed to, those are not easy to sleep in. This comes from Nurse, bruh. I've been dealing, just like a boar bro would say, bruh. I've been dealing with insomnia for the past few weeks. Randomly tried this podcast snooze fest, 10 out of 10. Meaningless drivel down to a science. He was talking about Radio Shack catalogs. That's my mix-up. Radio Shack catalogs from 1983. Can't remember anything after that. X Bliss from the UK says works for me. Although I thought it wouldn't last for a couple of minutes, I find the scooter sends me to sleep pretty quick. I'm a maestro. I'm a stereo, or maestro, or sister maestro. Didn't like the show at first. Now I can't live without it. I realize it doesn't make me special, but a lot of people have had the same experience. And they send love. Marie says effective and creative, like listening to podcasts on Sunday nights. Oh boy, that's the night for me too. Puts me to sleep. And that's everything. Thanks everybody for taking the time to review the podcast. I really appreciate it. And here's a little bit about, Sleeping Mate is free because the people that support the sponsors support the show directly. And we grow this podcast by people spreading the word about the podcast or just about podcasting in general. I always appreciate that because it helps everybody. But I'm going to tell you a little about our referral program coming up here. But thanks so much for listening and good night. All right, everybody, it's time to talk about tonight's sponsor, Air Doctor. And come on, what's one thing we do nonstop? It's breathe air. But think about not only your health, but the health of your family. My daughter is breathing air all the time, and I want her to breathe clean air, free of pollutants, free of smoke, free of allergens and germs. And you know what makes me sleep better all night long is breathing that fresh, clean air. And Air Doctor makes all that possible. And especially where I live, unfortunately, we do have the wildfire season starting up. And I have an Air Doctor upstairs. I have an Air Doctor downstairs. But more than that, it's not about just me and my daughter. It's about you, the listeners. I hear from listeners over and over about the Air Doctor, when they got the Air Doctor, how satisfied they are. So you got to check out the Air Doctor. Air Doctor makes professional quality air purifiers that remove both particles and toxic gases. Air Doctor uses medical grade ultra HEPA filters that have been independently tested to remove 99.99% of tested bacteria and viruses, plus virtually everything else, including pollen, dust, and smoke. And that's small microns, 0.003 microns in size. Air Doctor captures 100% of those. That's 100 times more effective than ordinary HEPA purifiers. The Air Doctor makes powerful purifiers to fit every room in your home, from bedrooms to home offices to open concepts and great rooms. Americans spend over 90% of our time indoors. And I don't know if you knew this, but according to the EPA, indoor air can be 2 to 5 times more polluted than outdoor air. Its whisperjet fans are 30% quieter than the fans found in ordinary air purifiers. And, I'm just happy, like I said, to have the Air Doctor in my home. I don't have to worry about the smoke outside. I don't have to worry about the pollution coming from the freeway or my allergies. An Air Doctor comes with a no questions asked fast 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you don't love it, just send it back for a refund. Just go to airdoctorpro.com and use the promo code SLEEP, and you'll receive up to $300 off. That's right, up to $300 off, but only if you go to airdoctorpro.com and use that promo code SLEEP. airdoctorpro.com and use that promo code SLEEP. Thanks, everybody. All right, everybody, it's time to talk about tonight's sponsor, BetterHelp. You know, I've talked about my own journey with my own mental health, my own use of a licensed professional therapist, because I guess I want to normalize it for you and say, yeah, it's not easy. 2020 and 2021 have not been easy, but I want to empower you to take steps to take care of yourself, whether you're feeling depressed, you're struggling with your relationships, you're having difficulty sleeping, meeting your goals. Tonight's sponsor, BetterHelp, offers online professional counselors who can listen and help. BetterHelp will assess your needs and match you with your own licensed professional therapist. You can start communicating in under 48 hours. It's not a crisis line. It's not self-help. It's professional counseling done securely online. There's a broad range of expertise available, which may not be locally available in many areas. The service is available for clients worldwide. You can log into your account anytime and send a message to your counselor. You'll get timely and thoughtful responses. Plus, you can schedule weekly video or phone sessions. In that way, you won't ever have to sit in an uncomfortable waiting room. And BetterHelp is committed to facilitating great therapeutic matches, so they make it easy and free to change counselors if needed. It's more affordable than traditional offline counseling, and financial aid is available. In fact, so many people have been using BetterHelp that they're recruiting additional counselors in all 50 states. And people close to me, people in my personal life, have utilized the services of BetterHelp, and they are really happy with it. And our podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp, and our listeners get 10% off their first month of online therapy at betterhelp.com/sleepwithme. Visit betterhelp.com/sleepwithme. That's betterhelp.com/sleepwithme, and join the over 1 million people who have taken charge of their mental health with the help of an experienced BetterHelp professional. Thanks, everybody.